It all started with one tear. Not on camera, not during an award show, but in a quiet interview no one expected to go viral. Dilraba sat across from the host, smiling like she always did, calm, graceful, untouchable. But then, out of nowhere, the question came. Do you regret falling for someone you were never supposed to? The smile disappeared. The room went silent. She looked down for a moment, then whispered, yes. I do. The host leaned forward. Was it Yongyang? And that's when it happened, the look in her eyes, that deep, helpless look that told everyone the truth before she even said a word. She nodded. That single nod broke the internet. For years, fans had suspected there was something real between Dilraba Dilmurat and Yongyang. Their chemistry on set during You Are My Glory was undeniable, the way he looked at her, the way she smiled like she forgot the cameras were there. But both stars had always denied the rumors. Now, after years of silence, she was finally admitting there was more. Dilraba continued, her voice soft but trembling. We promised to keep things professional, but sometimes your heart doesn't listen. He made me feel safe, like I could finally be myself. The interviewer was speechless. The crew behind the camera exchanged glances, realizing they were witnessing something raw and real. But what no one knew was that Yongyang was watching that same interview live, from a hotel room miles away. He froze when he heard her voice. It had been months since they'd spoken, months since that final text that simply said, I'm sorry. I can't do this anymore. He thought he'd moved on. But hearing her confess like that, it hit him harder than he expected. Back when they were filming, everything was perfect, on screen and off. They would rehearse late into the night, laughing, teasing each other, sharing snacks, and secretly texting when no one was looking. But fame has its price. Every photo, every glance, every rumor became a headline. Fans started shipping them so hard that their studios got involved. Managers told them to keep it clean. Sponsors warned them about crossing boundaries. Yongyang tried to protect her. He told her not to worry, that they'd figure it out. But the pressure grew. One misunderstanding led to another. Then came the night that changed everything. A tabloid leaked photos of Yongyang having dinner with another actress. It was just a business meeting, but the internet exploded. Fans accused him of betraying Dilraba, and her followers went after him relentlessly. Dilraba didn't call. She didn't ask for an explanation. She just disappeared. Yongyang waited for days, hoping she'd message him. But when she finally did, her words were short and final. Let's end it before we both get destroyed. Months passed. They went back to acting, smiling in front of cameras, pretending like nothing ever happened. But both of them were breaking inside. Dilraba later admitted in that same interview. We didn't fight because we stopped caring. We fought because we cared too much. And then she said the line that melted every fan's heart. Sometimes love doesn't end when you walk away. It ends when you finally accept that you can't go back. Yongyang reportedly broke down in tears after watching that interview. For the first time, he understood, she had never stopped loving him. She had only stopped trying to protect something that couldn't survive under the spotlight. A few weeks later, Dilraba posted a photo on her Weibo, a sunset, with the caption, "Some people leave quietly, but their presence never fades." Yongyang liked the post within seconds. Fans noticed, of course, and the internet went wild again. But this time, neither of them said a word. No denial. No explanation. Just silence, the kind that says everything. Behind the scenes, close friends claimed that the two stars still talk occasionally, checking in, sending birthday messages, sharing memories that only they understand. They may never return to what they once had, but there's a quiet respect between them now, a bittersweet connection that time can't erase. And maybe that's what makes their story so powerful. Because sometimes, the greatest love stories aren't the ones that end with a kiss, but the ones that end with a lesson. Dilraba's final words in that interview still echo in fans' minds. If I could turn back time, I'd still choose to meet him, even if it meant getting my heart broken. The screen faded to black. Millions of fans sat in stunned silence, realizing that behind the glitz, the fame, and the perfect smiles, two of the biggest stars in China had once shared something painfully human, love that wasn't meant to last. No one knows if Yongyang and Dilraba will ever reunite, on screen or off. But one thing's for sure. Her confession will forever remain one of the most unforgettable moments in Cdrama history. Because sometimes, the love stories we never see are the ones that hurt the most. Weeks passed after the interview, but the echoes of Dilraba's confession refused to fade. Entertainment outlets replayed her words again and again, dissecting every glance, every pause. Fans began uploading tribute videos, slow montages of her and Yongyang smiling behind. But behind the scenes, her friends noticed the difference. She wasn't as loud. She didn't stay out late. She spent hours rehearsing, as if losing herself in her work was the only way to quiet the memories. During a quiet moment on set, one of her co-stars asked her, "Do you still think about him?"
She didn't answer immediately. Instead, she looked at the sky, the same calm expression hiding the storm beneath. "Every day," she said softly. "But not because I want him back. Just because I hope he's okay." That quiet honesty became the heart of her healing. Months later, at a major awards show, fate decided to play one last cruel trick, or maybe, a kind one. Yang and Dilraba were seated just a few tables apart. Cameras flashed, reporters whispered, fans screamed as both their names were announced for separate awards. When Dilraba's name was called, Yang stood up first. He clapped, genuinely, proudly. For a split second, their eyes met across the room. No one else noticed, but in that moment, everything stopped for them. It wasn't awkward. It wasn't painful. It was peaceful. A silent acknowledgement that they had once shared something real, something that didn't need words anymore. After the show, she walked past him in the hallway. The cameras were gone, the fans were gone, just two people, side by side again for the first time in years. She smiled, a small, warm smile. "Congratulations," she said. He nodded, his voice quiet but full of meaning. "You too." And just like that, they walked away. No drama, no grand ending. Just closure. Sometimes, that's the most beautiful ending of all. Weeks later, a new interview of Yang aired. For the first time, he was asked directly about the viral confession. The interviewer tried to be careful with his words, but Yang didn't flinch. He smiled faintly and said, "We were young. We gave our best to each other. That's all that matters." Then, after a long pause, he added, "She'll always have my respect. Always." That was all he said, but it was enough to make fans cry all over again. Time moved on. Yang began working on a new film overseas. Dilraba started a charity project supporting underprivileged children.